Behind the stone wall of Richard's End Terrace house in Burnley, botched insulation.
They inject a chemical into the wall and it spreads up through the cavity. The whole wall is just damp.
And if you wanted to get rid of it, what are we talking about?
The initial survey said between £100,000 and £120,000.
That's roughly the value of the property, rendering Richard's house effectively worthless. A company came to his front door around 8 years ago.
So yeah, if you want to come upstairs, I'll show you the...
Offering free insulation under a government energy efficiency scheme designed to cut heating bills and help the environment. For Richard, though, it turned out to be a hollow promise.
This was the worst affected room here. It was up in that corner.
Right.
And along the top there.
The faulty insulation created damp, causing black mould in his son's bedroom. Richard spent thousands on stripping the plastering out to try to stop the rot.
It's still in there. It's still in there. This is purely cosmetic. It's probably,
Yeah.
you know...
So you're going to have to do that again?
In the next few years, we'll probably have to do it again. I thought I was the only one, but I've since found out that there are hundreds, possibly thousands of properties that have been done with this stuff, caused millions of pounds worth of damages.
Like others, Richard then had another knock on the door, this time from a company called SSB Law.
You need someone that is there when you need them.
SSB offered Richard and others a no-win, no-fee claim to get their money back. What they weren't aware of, though, was something called after-the-event insurance, a common practice in legal contracts which helps the claimants, in this case the homeowners, cover the legal costs of the defendants, the cavity wall companies.
You need someone that knows what they're doing.
Although it turned out some after-the-event insurance policies SSB was meant to take out to protect their clients against adverse costs weren't in place.
We're always just around the corner.
Not anymore, though. Last year, SSB Law, which was based in Sheffield, went into administration with the loss of 192 jobs. As a result, many of these claims failed. So, cavity wall installation companies then pursued SSB's customers, like Richard, for the costs of rebutting the claims against them.
And now the lawyers have gone bust, and a lot of people have been getting legal letters through the door saying you owe us 30, 40, 50,000 pounds in legal fees, when it was supposed to be a no-win, no-fee court case.
An insurer of some of the now insolvent cavity wall companies, Royal & Son Alliance, told us it's suspended recovery of unpaid costs and is optimistic of a final resolution shortly. Richard's claim was dropped just before SSB went bust and counts himself lucky that he doesn't have any legal fees to pay.
The people that are in a less fortunate position than me, who they're getting these demands, they've got these houses that are falling down, and they can do nothing about it. Nobody is helping them, and it was all a government-backed scheme. It should be down to the government, of whatever colour, to come and repair what their scheme did.
The government has acknowledged that an overhaul of the retrofit system and the consumer protection landscape is urgently required, and says it's working to bring that forward. Although it's not known exactly how many people have been affected, the scandals reached the in-trays of MPs across England.
Given that this all started with government schemes, shouldn't the government be accepting more responsibility here?
Well, I think the government's doing what they can at the moment. Loads of people, including my constituent, will be saying, well, actually, how did this happen? How could it have happened to me? They were left in an appalling situation, and we need to make sure it doesn't happen again.
And as much as trying to make sure this doesn't happen again, can we confidently say this isn't still happening right now?
No, we can't. I don't think so.
SSB's administrator, FRP Advisory, told us,
"We continue to investigate the conduct of the business and are engaging with regulators and other stakeholders where appropriate, as we look to achieve the best possible outcome for creditors."
The solicitors regulator, the SRA, investigated SSB Law and took temporary action against 4 of its solicitors. However, an independent review concluded that the SRA didn't act effectively on more than 100 reports it received about SSB. The SRA apologised and accepted all of the recommendations of that review, acknowledging that these cases raise wider issues about whether no-win, no-fee claims are working.
I think you've got to remember that people who were using law firms to sue the installers of the cavity wall insulation had already been through a dreadful experience. They might have been sold something called no win, no fee without really understanding what does this mean for them as a consumer, because no win, no fee doesn't mean no risk.
There are now calls for that very phrase to be banned, and campaigners say this scandal is just one of a long line of failures by successive governments to protect homeowners. In towns like Burnley, many are stuck in unsellable homes, victims of a double whammy, surrounded by faulty insulation and staring at a mountain of debt.